we're gonna have to stay closer to the property here because the internet connection and the cell towers, it's not the greatest in the countryside. But today we got sweet sorghum sugarcane. So what this basically is it's bird seed. That's what basically what it looks like. You ever seen those little red balls in the bottom of your bird seed you buy? That's what that is. That's sorghum. Now they use a lot of this for chicken feed. The tops here, they can use a lot for livestock. But I got the sweet variety, and what that basically is the stalks of it. They press it out for juice, especially in the South, and they make syrup out of it. They basically make a sweetener. Now it is packed full of all types of all types of goodness, all types of vitamins, minerals. You can check it out, look it up. Now my thought process would is now if I can take desserts or sweets or other things, candies, if I can take that out and replace it with this, I can make like little popsicles, sugar cubes, all that kind of stuff. Just cook it down, and all the kids are getting is more nutrients. That's all it's not going to get out of this. They're not going to get that over processed junk you get from refined sugars and stuff like that. And I've noticed my coconut sugar is going up and other things like that. So I'm gonna have to find another way. Hopefully, what I'm hopefully is I can replace all the sugar I use in my home with this. I can cook it all down, jar it up, pop that jar open, and I can use that whenever I need it for all my sweeteners. So what I have over here, let's come over here and check it out, is basically farmers use a tool. They basically use a they go in here and they cut these lines out with their machine, or some places they put the ox and they plow it in. But that's basically what it is. We got a little trench line going right here and right here. I put the dirt to the side, put the dirt to the side. That way now I have a line. So it's pretty straight, simple. Then I got me some cheap composted steer manure, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use basically one or two of these bags, depending on how much goes in this hole here, and I'm going to amend that across the top here. Why I chose specifically sorghum is it's really hardy and loves the heat. Now there's a lot of cool things to grow. There's a lot of plants out there, and I've tried most of them. But the problem is a lot of things just cook out here in the desert, especially when it gets to a certain heat. I noticed things like my watermelons, my cantaloupes, they really do love it. Especially watermelons, cantaloupes, see a lot done in other countries where it's really hot. And that's really what I need out here. Is I need to find something that's really going to be able to handle the heat. And also, I'm getting me a pair of laying hens tomorrow. I know a person. They're gonna sell me a couple cheap, about a year old. Bam! If I can get this sorghum growing, what that's able to do is I get the tops for the chicken feed. Then I can have all the stocks for what I need. So let's get into it. Let me go ahead and start amending this soil here. Now this is 2 cubic feet, and I got this stuff for like $4. So that's like what, $2 a cubic foot? And honestly, it grows everything pretty well. I mean, I've seen this thing do miracles. I've originally planted all my fruit trees in this, same stuff. I have mended quite a few things with this. It really does well. I'm not going to put any fertilizer besides this because the sweet sorghum, what's probably going to happen is, you're going to get too fast of growth, get aphids, things like that. Sometimes in certain plants, it's kind of better to kind of pull back actually on the nutrients because you're just going to get the wrong type of growth. Sometimes like root vegetables and other things, get all, even tomatoes, you get a lot of growth on the wrong spots. You get a whole bunch of vines or a whole bunch of just the tops are all growing with the carrots all small. So this is about as much as I'm going to do on this. I'm going to do another one. That's probably one bag. And after that, I'm just going to kind of chop it with the shovel a little bit, get it nice and flat in here. Also, why I do these early in the morning is it's a good practice. If anybody's gonna move out here in the desert, understand, okay, if you're unless you're like Flagstaff, you're up there like in a mountaintop like the Himalayas, it'll be 110 by the afternoon, and it could be 100 by 10 a.m. So if you don't get all your stuff done early in the morning, forget it. Just forget it. Oh, come here and check this out. This right here, that's a piece of caliche. This ain't a piece of concrete. This is what I dug out of that hole. That's another problem here with the desert, and why you really have to put things in like almost like I have like here this trench and hold the soil and hold the moisture, because that water will just sheet flow, because there's like a layer of concrete, a layer of caliche out here, and it will just sheet flow, just gone. And what does that do? It starts eroding the topsoil because you don't have anything growing out here. No good. But it also works to your advantage sometimes too, because this is all going to stay in here real nice, and over the rains and everything else, all this stays just fine. I've had many luck with this. Now it says it wants warmer temperatures here for this plant. Something you really can't grow in the winter. It can stand lower temperatures, but it doesn't want to germinate in those lower temperatures. Like my watermelons, I mean, they were doing okay even when it was, the fall and doing lower temps, but it just didn't really thrive. Some plants really need the summer heat. They really thrive in hot, and that's what this is. So that's why I've waited so long to start planting all my spring stuff here, because I don't want to go it too early and just not get a good germination rate. Like my watermelons, I'm not even going to plant those just yet, because I know from experience you got to wait till it gets a little bit warmer. These sorghum here, they're pretty hardy. This is my first time doing it. I saw a guy, literally, he's in the middle of I think the Chihuahua desert. These things just literally pretty much grow wild next to the washes where there's water and streams. A wash and it dries up. So if he can grow it there, I'm pretty sure I can grow it out here, no problem. Man. Oh, hey, good morning, Scotty. What's going on? How much fertilizer do you need? Well, what I'm going to do with the fertilizer here is actually, I'm not going to do really low to nothing. For a lot of places, I would say in the country, you would need very little, just a little bit, not a lot. I'm basically just going to use the steer manure here, and that's it. That's all the fertilizer I'm going to put. I'm going to put for the sorghum right now. I'm not going to put anything else in here, because what I found is some things, when I put too much fertilizer on it, I get too fast a growth, and it just causes the aphids to come in. So this is all the fertilizer I'm going to put is this steer manure. And this steer manure, I got that big old bag there. It's 2 cubic feet, $4. I'm just going to sprinkle all this in, and then they say to thin them out. I'm going to see if I can't, transplant them or move them around if I get too many too close together. If you look, it really does remind you of bird seed, don't it? If you look at it, Doesn't that look like bird seed? Because it really is. That's I think it's just the fifth most grown crop in America or something like that, and most of it is bird seed or seed for livestock. So what I plan on doing is, if I want to get some, I don't know, some pigs, but I'm definitely getting me some chickens tomorrow. Is all the tops of this can just go for your birds. You know what I mean? My goal in my mind out here and what I'm doing is just add water. If I can, that's all I want to do. I want to just add water, and everything from that point, I can be self-sustained. And one of those things is a sweetener and livestock feed. And this looks like barely nothing. I mean, it's so little bit, and these get these big old heads of seeds. Like it basically looks like a 12-foot tall piece of grass. And this must be, you know, half a half a stalk worth of seeds. And if I can get, all of these growing, if I can get 100 of these plants growing in here, or 50 or whatever, I could grow that entire field behind me worth of this stuff. And that's my idea here is is get some of these seeds going. Obviously, certain plants that I got going off, because I'll be honest with you, this costs $10. Oh, turkeys love it too. Make flour and grains. Yes. Talking about the flour part, that's a good point, because my son has gluten allergies. The little guy. I don't know if everybody's seen the story of my son and his allergies and everything I went through, but this is going to be also an alternative for flour. I got my Sonoran wheat over there, which grows really well, but can't have that. So I'm trying to figure out something that we can grow that he can be included in. Because I don't know if any of you guys have kids. It's kind of heartbreaking. Like everyone's eating the cake, or everyone could have something but him. You know, I want to make sure he's included, and this is going to be able to do the same thing, like you say, make flour for it and include it for the turkeys and whatnot too. There you go. See, the sun is popping up right there, right up over the mountains. I mean, it's gonna be a beautiful day out here in the desert. This time of year, I don't know. You're out. I think if you're out in the desert, it's really nice. It really is beautiful. But you folks that have kids or youngins with you, you got to be aware of where you're walking and what you're doing right now, because I did see a rattlesnake cross the road up the way in the highway, and that's why I made these fences here myself. You can have a good time. You can be out here enjoying yourself. Me and the kids were playing soccer yesterday. You can raise a family in the middle of the Arizona desert, but just be aware that there are snakes, and there's a lot of them. If anybody has any questions, or wants to see anything around here, or walk over and show you something, just go ahead and let me know. I'm just sprinkling these kind of a little bit closer than what they say. I'm probably going about 3 or 4 inches apart. What we got here? Excuse me, folks. I'm kind of new at this. Your typical watering regimen for food and garden. Okay, so my typical watering regimen is I go out there every morning and I look at the plants and they tell me what's going on. So I noticed it got kind of a little hotter, and then my carrots went flat, and then I watered them that day. And I noticed a one patch of my turnips where the leaves go flat, and I'm like, okay, I need to water them a lot more too. So it can go from every day, if I'm germinating seeds and and it's really getting hot, and then sometimes I'll back it off in the winter to maybe once a week. Through the winter it was once a week. We got a hot spell. I was going every other day. Then it got really hot, like 85 out here recently, and then I had to go every day. So I had to really pick it up my watering schedule as far as how much I'm watering my garden over there. And you'll see it. You'll also with the trees, what they do, they don't wilt. Their leaves will curl up. They'll kind of curl on you a little bit, and that's the plant talking to you. Hey, you know what? I'm kind of thirsty. So you can really tell, and you can really look at the soil and how damp it is, depending if you're germinating seeds. The landscape will start talking to you. You'll as crazy as it sounds, you'll build a bond. You'll build a relationship with it, and you can actually the plants will start talking to you. You'll notice that one plant you've been growing, all of a sudden it starts to just the leaf will wilt down, go a little bit lower, and you're like, oh, okay, something's wrong. I need to help this guy out, and that's what you know. And also, when I'm doing all of this, it, there is a sense of not just I wouldn't say satisfaction or you feel like accomplishment, but there's a sense of just serenity to it. You know what I mean? You're out here, and what you hear is what I hear. I just hear the wind blowing. I hear my two little dogs over in the corner, and it's just you, and you're just out here. It's like it really is like you went on. I went on vacation and never went back. Because I used to go on vacation out here desert. I'm like, oh, I love Arizona. I love the Grand Canyon. Oh, I went to a cave, and I said, you know what, honey, let's go, and we're never gonna go back. And that's what I did. What do we got? Hold on here. Good stuff. Good morning. Good morning. Wow, my kids are putting up many acres of stuff. Wow, got some dairy going on, dude. That's pretty cool, man. Your typical word. How are the fruit trees? Okay, so you know what? How are the fruit trees doing? So let's be honest, okay? So all the fruit trees are doing amazing, amazing, amazing. But let's go see my epic failure. Come on over this real quick, honey. This way. So all the fruit trees are doing great. They go dormant in the winter. But what I did is I went and I bought a fig. I thought I'd buy a fig. Now, who's ever thinking about buying a fig in the desert, don't do it because that crisped up on me pretty good. But as far as my lemon, that's already producing flowers right now. The little orange I put in the ground, that guy's doing amazing. The pomegranates are coming back with leaves. My grapes over there are coming back. They're producing some leaves too. I mean, they're all starting to sprout again. They're all starting to come back, and they're all doing amazing. Because if you look at that shipping container right there, on the other side over here, right? The sun goes up this way, and right about the evening, it blocks all the heat on that side. So all of those trees do amazing. On the front side of it, okay, so or on this side of it, okay, where we get in the evening sun, it's just the citrus. And the citrus do fine in the heat. Even that lemon does fine. That orange tree, I have no problem doing it with that heat, and they're all doing great. To get them established is a little bit of work. You really have to water them deep, and you really have to baby them. But once they're in and doing okay, I mean, you can pull it back to once a week, every 2 weeks. Just give it one good soak every once in a while, and they do just fine. I think last year it was once a week. That's it. That was the max. Even in the middle of the summer, I was doing for those fruit trees, and they did great. And I got a big harvest on the peaches last year, and I mean, I did a short of it, but you can see probably I don't know what it was, about 12 of them, and they were big size peaches. And in the middle of the summer, I think it's when they started really coming in, and me and the kids went over there, and we had this big old harvest. I mean, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. It's out of a storybook where you just wake up in the morning with your entire family, and you just go, and it's your peaches, and you grab them all and you eat them. It was a good feeling. It was a total accomplishment because it took a year to get that thing going. With a fruit tree, you're just establishing all this time with it, and all of a sudden, bam! It's just all at once. It was great. Let me go ahead and put this hose on so I can water this. What do we got here? Where do you get the water? That's a good question. Okay, so basically, it's all now. It's basically well water. Now, in deserts out here like this, which is what you have called a water delivery. So basically, a guy with a 2,000-gallon water tank, he comes down my dirt road. I call him up and I pay him. They come down my dirt road, boof, 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 and then right behind us, back over there, they fill up my 2 water tanks. Now, what happens is those water tanks is where I have my water, but that's not the water I use. After I take a shower, all that water goes to a pond I created. After I wash my clothes, all of it goes to this pond I created. After I wash my dishes, it goes through a like a straining system that I have, and that all goes in there. So what do I get is this very, very light amount of soap in the water. And what it does is it's not enough to hurt the plants or anything, but it's enough to really knock out the aphids and all that. And I probably have about, I don't know, about 300-400 gallons worth of water in a pond that was all from my gray water. And that's what I water all my plants with. So it's technically just something that would have gone to waste is everything I water my plants with. Of a little bit of rainwater capture. It's a big investment as far as time and money to kind of like figure out, these stove to storage those gutters up. And that's something I would really want to do is get a little bit more secure with the water and be able to capture more water. But so far, how I get my water is I pay to have it delivered, and it's not very expensive, but it's I all that water probably lasts me a month, a little over, probably 2 months in the wintertime. And yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, as far as like water and things like that and regulations, it's it's all over the place, and it's something that I'm trying to get away with as much as possible. And yeah, I would like to have rainwater to be able to, on everything I have here, start putting some more gutters in, and basically, hopefully, get to that point soon where I'm not counting on anybody or anything else. It's just me, and I can get what I need pretty quick. Because I've noticed over here, just on this, like almost like we'll call it a driveway going this way, that's where I capture all that water. I also like water in the room too. Kind of like I also like water in the room too. Kind of like clay hard soil here that I have. If you water it, it'll kind of stay there too. It'll kind of get to the point where it won't move, and it'll just be like it'll almost of uh of growing here. And I mean, I spent 10. Let's try and get that. Let's try and get this really watered in here. Well, I appreciate everybody's comments. I appreciate everybody stopping by today, folks. That's all I pretty much have for you. Pretty my sorghum right here over here. Next one, folks. God bless and take care.